Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's the Pillsbury Doughboy here today, and today we're going to be doing some more archive for Outlast. Sorry if I sound a little different today. I'm a little sick. I got a cold, but I'm feeling a lot better. So, anyways, I know that I said I was going to filter these videos into days of the week with other videos. However, I would just like to get all these videos done. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. The whistleblower. You don't know me. Have to make this quick. They might be monitoring. I did 2 weeks of software consult at Murkoff Psychiatric Systems' facilities in Mount Massive. All sorts of NDAs I'm very much breaking right now, but seriously, fuck those guys. Terrible things happening here. Don't understand it. Don't believe half the things I saw. Doctors talking about dream therapy going too deep, finding something that had been waiting for them in the mountain. People are being hurt and Murkoff is making money. It needs to be exposed. Project Wallrider, patient status report for William Hope. Therapy status. Patient claims to have progressed to self-directed lucid dream states. Morphogenic engine activity observed at unprecedented scale. Continuing stage 4 hormone schedule. Diagnostics. Spirometry revealed no bronchial accumulation. Hematocrit centrifuge again failed to separate erythritis. Highly worrisome. I apologize. I know I'm butchering the shit out of these words, but it is what it is. MRI revealed a rhythmic REM/NREM cycle. Laughter in NREM state. Interview notes. Billy asked about the status of his mother's lawsuit against Murkoff and the asylum. This represents a catastrophic breach in security, despite Billy's claims that he had discovered the truth in the blood dreams of Dr. Trager. Note, the only Trager on company records, one Richard Trager, is an executive from MRD. All orderlies and security personnel must be questioned and video security improved to include analytical biometrics. Murkoff Psychiatric Systems, Project Wallrider, Mount Massive, Colorado. Warrant for seizure. Affidavits have been made before the board of directors of Murkoff Hardline Security, MHS, who have reason to be here. Catastrophic security failure of psychiatric center with imminent danger of environment contamination. We are satisfied that the affidavits and testimony established sufficient evidence to require urgent action on this part of MHS and grounds for the assurance of this warrant. You are hereby required to grant MHS full access to all facilities and surrender complete authority to its agents. By acceptance of this document, you and any surviving relatives surrender all claims of litigation against the Murkoff Corp. Or its subsidiaries for the actions of MHS or the circumstances which required their actions, regardless of responsibility. Project Wallrider Patient Status Report for Chris Walker. Therapy status. Morphogenic engine activity plateaued at roughly 2,000 ppm. Unsafe to progress beyond stage 3 hormone schedule. Diagnostics. Spirometry revealed light to medium bronchial accumulation. MRI scans consistent with patient's reported dreams. Interview notes. Walker was interviewed in restraints following his self-inflicted mutilations. Restraint have had to be altered to accommodate his enormous size. Extensive dermal eruptions as consistent with failed morphogenic engine cellular activity. He claims the skin ripped from his forehead allows for a truer way of seeing. Seems to have some boyhood experience with Tautara lizards and their parietal eyes. He has expressed anxiety about his flesh, specifically around his lips and nose. Attending orderlies should be advised to watch for further self-mutilation. The mental traumas he sustained while serving in Afghanistan seemed to be retarding progression of the ME process. His predominant fixation, amplified by therapy, is a maniac exaggeration of military security protocol. A continuation of both chemical and physical restraints is highly recommended. Project Walrider Profitability Report. Dear Sirs, the full report pending. No immediate action is required on the part of Murkoff Corp. The profit potential of Project Walrider remains staggeringly high. The 4 fatalities contain enough ambiguous data to have any litigation if evidence is correctly managed. Impossible. Project Walrider remains a dangerous initiative, and there will almost certainly be further casualties. As with the others, however, family and government interest in the patients is so low as to make any chance of legal action vanishingly unlikely. Violence among patients is increasing as the morphogenic engine therapy gets closer to producing working models, but a combination of physical and chemical restraints has proven sufficiently effective to assure continued control and profit. Respectfully, Ellen Grant, Murkoff Legal Mitigation Department. MK Ultra CIA, Hypnotic Homicide. On Wednesday, February 10th, 1954, hypnotic experimentation and research work was continued in Building 13 of Mount Massive Preserve in Colorado using the following subjects. 1. A post-hypnotic of the night before, pointed finger you will sleep, was enacted. Mrs. Jackson and Pierce immediately progressed to a deep hypnotic state with no further suggestion. Miss Pierce was then instructed, having previously expressed a fear of firearms in any fashion, that she would use every method at her disposal to awaken Miss Jackson. Now, in a deep hypnotic sleep, and failing this, she would pick up a nearby pistol and fire at Miss Jackson. She was instructed that her rage would be so great that she would not hesitate to kill Jackson for failing to awaken. 2. Miss Pierce carried out these suggestions to the letter, including firing the unloaded pneumatic pistol gun at Jackson and then proceeding to fall into a deep sleep. After proper suggestions were made, both were awakened and expressed complete amnesia for the entire sequence. Miss Pierce was again handed the gun, which she refused in an awakened state to pick up or accept from the operator. She expressed absolute denial that the foregoing sequence had happened. Father Martin, finger painter. Helen, Dr. Zeichner gave me your info to contact regarding the cancellation of the arts program. My patient, Martin, has made enormous strides in his therapy on account of his finger painting. Just in the weeks since canceling the arts program, his schizoaffective assertions of some higher calling have been accelerated enormously. Please just let the man finger paint. The few dollars you're saving on temper paint is more than swallowed by the cost of clozapine. I can't imagine the logic at play here, unless Murkoff wants our patients to become more disengaged from reality. Please advise, Dr. Neil Wolfram. Purgegate Maintenance Memo. Proper Purgegate maintenance is crucial to Project Walrider security. Please refer to Murkoff Corp. Maintenance Manual, MMPS-MM180286, or seek guidance from a supervisor with the proper security clearance. Dr. Wernicke Death Certificate. Please find attached to this copy of the death certificate of Rudolph G. Wernicke. I hereby certify that I attend deceased from June 4th, 2003 to February 28th, 2009, that I saw him alive on February 27th, 2009. That death occurred on the date stated above at 4:11 a.m. The principal cause of death and related causes of importance were as follows. Heart failure due to advanced age. This is to certify that this is a true and correct copy of the official record. Dr. Wernicke Obituary. Dr. Rudolph G. Wernicke, age 90, passed away during the work he loved on February 28, 2009. He was born in 1918 in Munich, Germany, and achieved fame in the mathematic and scientific communities for a paper written with early computing pioneer Alan Turing. After a cloudy history with the German war effort, he emigrated to the United States in 1949 with a visa from the State Department. Several decades of government research in Los Alamos led to New Mexico, where Dr. Wernicke retired to pursue landscape photography and care for his cats. He came to Colorado shortly after the turn of the millennium to pursue charitable work for the Murkoff Corporation. A statement from the company calls Dr. Wernicke a true humanitarian with a generous spirit. He leaves no survivors. The Gospel of Sand. Found scrawled in pencil on the back of an admittance form. Handwriting matches samples from patient Father Martin. This God is real. What we've mistaken so long for ghosts, spirits, madness, we were only willfully ignorant. The scales on Saul's eyes were fear. And when you see it, and when you see beyond it, you truly see. This is a gift from the wall writer, the Gospel of Sand. The greatest sin in the world is willful ignorance of God, to receive a revelation and not spread it to the waiting flock. This place, to stand in the way of salvation, is a sin for which there is no punishment too great. Still bleeding. Already weak, cold. It's still bleeding, but it doesn't hurt anymore, and I almost have quiet. I can't hear the wall writer anymore. Maybe the therapy is wearing off. I can't remember the dreams. Said I could earn my release from this place by submitting to the therapy. Lies. Of course they were lying. It was not therapy. We were sacrificed to conjure a demon. Please, let there be no dreams. The only hell. Project Wall Writer Cost Report. Patient Status Report by Rick Traeger. This patient also, unfortunately, didn't make it. I tried my best, but I'm just a doctor, not a miracle worker. And I'm pretty new to this whole doctor thing, so I'm still working out all the kinks. Anywho, somebody's gotta cut the fat from this Project Wall Writer disaster. We've been bleeding money ever since this thing went tits up on account of that Billy kid. But I've managed to slim back personnel by more than 80 people, which means short-term savings in salary and long-term savings in pension and healthcare costs. And I've been figuring out a lot about biology. I was on the fence about it before, but now I can say with absolute certainty that a person can't live without his kidneys. You learn something new every day. Request for reassignment. To whom it may concern. This is my third time asking for reassignment after 2 months without an answer. I don't want to work at Mount Massive anymore. I have been an orderly my entire adult life, but have never experienced such a consistent level of secrecy and disrespect. I even have suspicions that some of the patients may be being abused. I know personally of the 2 of them who have been moved to the basement ward and never returned. If I don't get an answer to this email, I will be forced to resign and may very well consider contacting the press. Thanks for your time. David Annapurna. Persecutorial Delusions. Mr. Walsh, please accept the immediate resignation of orderly 531920 David Annapurna and process him as a patient of Mount Massive to treat his persecutorial delusions. Treatment should continue until the time of his death. Thanks, buddy. Dr. Traeger. Murkoff, R&D. Psychopathological Proximity Stress Disorder Pamphlet. If you're seeing this, say something. There's no shame in PPSD. Talk to your supervisor to get help from a Murkoff Success Counselor. MK Ultra Program Excerpt. General problem. For the past several months, Bluebird has been endeavoring to ascertain by research, study, instruction, and some practice what value, if any, can be derived from SI, sleep induction, and H, hypnotic techniques when applied to war and any specific agency problems. 3. Can we create by post-H control an action contrary to an individual's basic moral principles? 7. Can we guarantee total amnesia under any and all conditions? 8. Can we alter a person's personality? How long will it hold? 17. What are full details on a sleep-inducing machine? Our own personal cavalry. Our own personal cavalry. I don't even know your name, but I've come to think of you as one of my blood, my Paul. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't indulge the vanity of self-pity, the fear that your suffering is more than others. We all must endure this, and you are nearly done. There's no way to heaven but by the cross, and every man needs another to help drive the nails in. I am here for you. I am waiting ahead. Walrider and Nightmares. Note: this is for support/notational purposes only. Engage in no direct contact with patients during or after therapy. The Walrider, also known as Alp, Mara, or Schrat, is a demonic creature of German origin that torments sleepers. They crouch on a sleeper's chest and crush the breath from him. The sleeper wakes terrified, paralyzed, and asphyxiating. The name Mara gives us the word nightmare. Sexual assaults by the demon are rare, but it has been known to drink milk from the breasts of sleeping women and blood from the nipples of sleeping men. Project Paperclip excerpt. Reference: Nazi War Crimes Disclosure Act. The first paperclip provides a means of obtaining services of foreign specialists for specific assignments within the technical services of the Departments of Army, Navy, and Air Force. Project 63 is primarily a denial program with utilization as a desirable feature. The aim of this program is to secure employment in the United States of certain preeminent German and Australian specialists, thus denying their service to potential enemies. You promised me a rose garden. How can I not remember where the cuts are coming from? They hurt so deeply, even days later. Dr. Newhouse tells me that it's my fault. I'm subconsciously resisting the hypnotherapy, but I want so much to get better. I don't know how I could be doing this to myself. Dr. Newhouse says it's another condition of my bedroom-inspired hysteria. Poor Bruce. I make him suffer so. I've tried subtly to ask Mrs. Jackson if she's had similar issues with her husband, but she is loath to talk about it. Her husband, too, has found comfort in a younger woman. I know the doctors only mean well, and with the help of the government men who've joined the staff, I'm in the very best hands possible. I should just take my pills and sleep, and hope for more pleasant dreams tonight. Billy's Dreams. Hey, Cindy. Another interesting conversation with Billy this morning. He says he's been talking to Dr. Wernicke again for his therapy in the White Place. I'm disturbed by the fact that his delusions have only gotten worse with medication, which isn't in the literature for benzodiazepine. In any case, his dead doctor friend is filing his head with more German folklore. Apparently, the only thing that can kill the Walrider are vampiric butterflies vomited from a demon called Horrorsizi. The butterflies suck the breath from people's lips and drink blood from their nipples. They can also take the form of emancipated, upright pigs or sick dogs, so Billy's got that going for him. You mentioned Billy talking about his mother's tattoos before. Are any of them by chance tattoos of butterflies? Next time I get outside of Murkoff Firewall, I'm going to look online and see if there's any actual basis in German folklore, or if Billy's making this garbage up from whole cloth. Would love to compare notes sometime. Wouldn't mind doing it over a glass of wine. Winky face. Gets lonely up here on 2. Kurt. The Spirit Breach. I have pressed news concerning the ongoing work of Dr. Rudolf Wernicke in his development of the morphogenic engine, expanding on theories developed in his brief but unfortunate relationship with A. Turing. If I had not witnessed it myself, I would not believe it had happened. But beyond even the promise in cellular regeneration and guided cancerogeneration, I believe Wernicke's method has breached the spiritual realm. Something crossed from the other side. I personally witnessed the appearance of the apparition, briefly, but undeniably so. Please forward my note and invitation to witness further experiments to Dietrich Eckhart. I do not doubt that the Führer himself may need to be made aware of our discoveries. It is my opinion that Dr. Wernicke's success represents an enormous opportunity for our cause and the German people, and are obviously sufficient reasons to keep him out of any sort of culling program. Regards to your family. Signature illegible. Necrotizing physicities. Wash those hands regularly, winky face, on September 19th, 2013, at 4:19 a.m. Grant wrote, Necrotizing physicities? Really? I fucking quit. The Gospel of Judas. I am an unworthy supplicant who can serve our Lord only by feeding our Lord. Please take me, Walrider. Let my shepherd's apostle see it and spread it with his lies for a greater truth. Your time upon the world has come. My flesh longs for your beautiful wrath. My blood is filled with you and waiting to be set free. This is my prayer. Write your gospel in my flesh. The Pride of Wisdom. From the personal records of Dr. Wernicke, Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus, by Mary Shelley, published anonymously in 1818, chapter 23 excerpt. Man, I cried, how ignorant art thou in thy pride of wisdom. Cease, you know not what it is you say. I broke from the house angrily and disturbed, and retired to meditate on some other mode of action. Variant postmortem. Project Walrider, postmortem preparatory report, MM 1300921. Form note, all material herein to be transcribed and revised to fit legally binding requirements of Murkoff Corp. records. See Form 4083. Author, Jennifer Rowland. Notes. My 14th autopsy of a Walrider patient, showing no more signs of accepting the therapy than any of the others. There have been slight gains in cell migration and morphogenesis, including effects similar to human growth hormone, but nothing to suggest the stable creation of a sentient, independent swarm. So tired, doubting my judgment, will submit another request for leave. The psychological cost of using such far gone and further provoked patients is more than I feel I can handle. May suggest hanging less hope on the far-flung theories of a senile Nazi and move towards using a simpler mechanical engine based on major sperm protein. Murkoff Security killed patient 921 after he overcame enough tranks. I'm sorry, I can't fucking pronounce tranquilizers. I don't know. I know what it is, but I have such a fucking hard time, and I don't know why. I'm sorry. After he overcame enough tranks to put down a hockey team. I'm afraid the hormone therapy is interacting with our chemical restraints in a counterproductive manner. Gods and monsters. Note to all personnel from consultant MM008 Rudolf Wernicke. DBNR. Do not worship the swarm, nor allow the delusions of the patients to influence your beliefs. Any sentient being based in this technology will be far superior to us, that illusions of godliness will be reasonable. We have always looked into chaos and called it God. We now are blessed with sufficient power that such belief could destroy us. Do not be tempted. Remember that you are scientists. Morphogenic engine chamber precautions. Murkoff Psychiatric Systems. Morphogenic engine chamber maintenance schedule. To avoid patient injury, the morphogenic engine life pod requires a daily inspection of all vital systems. Vital System 1. The enriched oxygenated perfluorocarbonation from the life support fluid reservoir must be continually flushed and replaced through the course of the patient's treatment. Note that OP also supplies anesthetics. Any interruption in supply will cause sufficient pain to the patient to potentially disrupt the experiment. Vital System 2. Electric supply is supplemented and ensured by the sublab generator. Proper fueling and maintenance of the sublab generator should be confirmed hourly. Vital System 3. In the case of catastrophic loss of vital systems 1 and 2, the LifePod failsafe will engage, maintaining localized minimum life support functions until technicians can arrive. Disabling failsafe will result in immediate patient termination. The modern Prometheus. From the personal records of Dr. Wernicke. Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, by Mary Shelley, published anonymously in 1818. Chapter 4 excerpt. Learn from me, if not by my precepts, at least by my example, how dangerous is the acquirement of knowledge, and how much happier that modest man than he who aspires to become greater than his nature allows. Permission to proceed. Please find attached to the permission to proceed form for patient William Hope of the Murkoff Charitable Psychiatry Program at Mount Massive Hospital in Colorado, USA. The form is standard, and all relevant lines have been signed. It appears Billy is unaware of his mother's recent guided cardiac arrest. He is submitting to the experiment with the understanding, unfounded, of financial remuneration to his mother and a charitable contribution to her church. Wernicke, having read the boy's dream reports, believes he has enormous therapeutic potential. Alright, anyways, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was a lot of fucking reading for me, so I apologize. I know that I butchered a lot of words, so I apologize for that. Nonetheless, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. I would really appreciate it. Comment down below what you thought was interesting or that you didn't know before. And maybe consider subscribing, because that would really help. And I can pump out more content like this for you guys. So I'm going to head out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will see you. See ya!